Guys, crypto should be a pretty big issue. You see how much money the crypto industry is pouring into candidates. But why are candidates not mentioning crypto on the big stage? Like, if you look at the last presidential debate, crypto was not mentioned at all. And now the UK is going to have its first election in 5 years. And crypto is still not on the plate. They've actually remained silent. The major parties, the Tories and Labour, have not actually addressed crypto. And people are actually just asking them to address crypto. I feel like these parties need to get a hang on it and they need to come out in favor of crypto, because whoever does first, I feel like will actually get an advantage. Of course, I think once one party comes out in favor of crypto, the other party will also come out in favor of crypto because they don't want to get on the wrong side of investors. Because obviously investor sentiment is with crypto. We actually need to get our congressmen to mention crypto even more. Not just like Cynthia Loomis or Kristen Gillibrand or or Tom Emmer or those people. They keep on mentioning it. We need to actually get crypto on the big stage. It needs to be it actually needs to be a topic of debate. Why? Because that will actually get people that aren't interested in crypto. They'll kind of look into the subject. Because right now, you're silent on the subject. People that are not in the industry aren't aware. But if you're not silent on the subject, other people in the industry will actually be aware. It's not just like Donald Trump making a comment offhand to some MSNBC reporter or Fox News reporter. It's he needs to bring it in on the debate stage. Now, he doesn't actually need to know that much about crypto. I don't expect either Trump or Biden to know much about crypto at all, nor do I really expect them to research it. But they have teams for this stuff. And I think it is a vote getter. It might not be a big vote getter, but it could be a vote getter. And 1 or 2% in these elections in certain states could definitely tilt it one way. So I was surprised they didn't mention crypto at all in the debate. I thought they would mention it a little bit. I didn't think they would make a huge deal out of it, but I thought they would actually make it a little bit of an issue. This kind of shows me that the major party candidates aren't actually so interested in this topic. They might give a small shout out to the topic just to get the voters on their side that really care about the issue, but it's really not part of their main agenda, regardless of how much they say. Because on the big stage, they're not bringing it up. They always bring out abortion, gay marriage, guns, stuff like that. And crypto is just really not on their radar. They see it as a chance to grab a couple of voters. But, when push comes to shove, I think crypto kind of falls to the wayside. They know which direction the sentiment is going, and that's why they're pressuring Gary Gensler and the SEC to be more friendly towards crypto. But it's still really not on their mind. And yes, the number of people that vote based solely on crypto is still fairly small, but it is actually growing. And right now, you can see it from the UK. And crypto is not a campaign trail issue. I think crypto people need to write in and tell them it should be a campaign trail issue. It's actually big enough to be a campaign trail issue. Obviously, the overall economy is going to affect more people. But, there's got to be, at least in the US and the UK, maybe probably a couple million people. And they know that could actually tilt the vote. The Labour Party is leading in the polls. The Labour Party is more of the Liberal Party in the UK. Well, more Liberal Party, more liberal than the Tories, obviously. That isn't that surprising. The Labour Party is leading in the polls with 42% of voters expressing support, while Conservatives, the Tories, have 19% according to June Ipsos poll on voting intentions. That's really not that surprising because the Tories have actually been in power for more than half a decade now. And they've been been in charge of this Brexit thing, and Brexit has been a complete disaster for most people in Britain. They might not like immigration, but Brexit was handled really poorly, and most Europeans, British people kind of really wish Brexit never happened now. So that's really tanking the Tories in Britain. So while a lot of Europe is actually moving more to the conservative side, that's not true with British people. There are way more people supporting Labour now than the Tories. They're still going to have a coalition government, obviously, in the UK because they don't have 50% of the votes. So most leading parties have not mentioned crypto in their election manifestos. We need one of the two parties to mention it just to get it out in the open. And I think once one mentions it, I think the other will be pro-crypto too, because I think there's way more pro-crypto people than anti-crypto people. I actually don't think in the general public there's actually that many anti-crypto people. I think it's mainly if people are aware of it, they're kind of pro-crypto as well. So we actually do need to get them to mention it, and it's a real question why they're not mentioning it. Is it just not enough of a block that they only want the campaign money, they only want the campaign funds, or like the super PAC money, and they don't actually care about the people that are going to vote based on crypto? Do they think there's not enough of them? I think like in some jurisdictions there's going to be enough of them to might actually make a difference to actually swing, because even if you have like a 1-2% part of the population that actually cares, that actually might be enough to swing the vote. Or do they just assume that those people are all going to vote one way anyways and they're just not really paying attention? I also don't think that's correct. For instance, in the United States, when they surveyed people that actually held crypto, like 53% of people were Democrats, and I think there's like a big contingent there that actually might be more attuned to voting for you or changing their vote, or maybe keeping their vote if you actually focused on one issue. Because I do think like even though it's a small portion of that population that actually has a significant portion of money in crypto, I think that proportion is going to rise. I think the party that actually gets on it first will actually win. I think it's definitely more prevalent in the United States than it is in the UK. And that's why like Trump has mentioned it, RFK has mentioned it. But even with like crypto support, RFK's support is actually very much floundering. So maybe it doesn't have that much power. But like I was really, really disappointed that it just wasn't mentioned in the debate. And I thought it would actually make a really good talking point, especially for Trump during the debate. Maybe Biden was doing so poorly that he didn't think he had to bring it up, but I'm not really sure if he had any plans to bring it up in the first place. So I really want one of the two candidates to bring it up, because I think as soon as they bring it up, both of them are going to be pro-crypto anyways. And I think that's what their advisors have been telling them as well, because Biden's advisors have actually shifted pro-crypto, and they're putting like pressure on Gensler to not be anti-crypto. So let me know what you think about this subject. Like and subscribe, hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.